Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. We are the middle-aged guys, and we bullshit about nothing. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse Horn.
We all love Square-Enix. Okay, well, maybe some of us love Square-Enix more than others. All right.
Glad you cleared that up.
All right, but Square-Enix.
Well, at least, okay, they're not Konami, but
True. But Square Enix, whether or not you love them, hate them, or whatnot, one thing that you have to recognize about Square Enix, especially when it comes to production value for their games, is that their soundtracks are symphonies. They are masterful, okay? Of which, in Japan, they have run a concert series. Final Symphonies and Symphonic Fantasies have been an ongoing concert series that they have done in Japan, full orchestra and everything else. And every once in a while, they make their way out here to the West Coast. I think that happened once back in like 2009 and again back in like 2012. But it isn't very often that they actually make it this way. Now, if you're a fan of the music and you are into physical media, we have good news for you. It was announced out earlier this week on the 26th. That the Final Symphony and Symphonic Fantasies Tokyo concert recordings are actually going to get a physical release for both CD and vinyl. The company that is putting it out is Lace Records, and they opened up pre-orders, full fold-out spreads and everything. Spreadsheets, music sheets, and all of that for both Final Symphonies and Symphonic Fantasies. And all of this is going to be coming out, I believe, and it's not going to be a huge release. All of this stuff is actually finally going to be released out December of this year. Guys, I know we don't always come off as music buffs on this particular channel, but we do recognize good soundtracks whenever they come along. And heck, I absolutely love the live versions of them when I have a chance to go ahead and see them. What are your thoughts?
bring them out. This should be okay. Look, video game soundtracks are a stamp as far as us, being gamers. Listen, it's just the fact that when you talk about video games, you have to mention music and sound. Especially now.
Yes.
It's gone from of Atari sounds to symphonies, real instruments, real musics, real soundtracks, and so on. I think we've been hooked on video game soundtracks ever since the 80s with Nintendo and the Master System and the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. That's when music really started meaning something and being very, very fucking important as far as gaming. Yes, you had the usual melodies like Burger Time or Mr. Do, whatever it is, or whatever it was. But now you have this situation. Now, look, to shut off as far as soundtracks coming over here, either on digital or physical, it's just like to me. But to have it on vinyl, that's a real big surprise.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a real big surprise, and I'm just like, hey, I have nothing against that. Bring that shit and start mixing that shit in clubs. Fuck it. Seriously, have video game music going on in clubs and mix that shit in right. You already have some fucking rappers that are taking sounds from video game music anyway, or video games anyway. Just might as well have that shit on vinyl, on CDs, in clubs, whatever. Just bring that shit out. That's all I really, really have to say about that. Just bring that shit out, and it's about fucking time.
Yeah. What about you, Grey Mouse?
Oh boy, where do I start? I've said many times on this channel and as a group, as the middle-aged guys, I said that soundtracks, especially music, video game soundtracks, they're almost part of the story. It has grown into a industry of its own, especially video game music. There's always orchestras, video game orchestras every year. And for Final Fantasy, I think those are some of the best symphonies ever. Some of the music is just, even the battle music, the overworld music, and just the music, the themes like Ares theme, Tifa's theme,
Yes,
Cloud
when she
theme.
dies, when Eris dies, when they played that music, congratulations.
I'm serious. Sephiroth, One Winged Angel. You got all. I mean, it's just. I just cannot believe that finally they're going to group it all together and put it on vinyl of all things. You know, music, video game music is its own entity. You know, you can't have a video game without having a great soundtrack. I mean, we all know the Mario soundtracks, the Kirby soundtracks, the Sonic soundtracks. I could go on forever. And soundtrack has gotten to a point to where it became an integral part of the story. It actually became part of the story, you know? You can't really, because it grasps the feels, I guess. Let me try to get with the millennials here. You know, the feelings. It tells you, you know, it's like, damn, Aerith died, and they play that sad-ass music, you know? Or you're about to go into a battle with Ganon. You got some badass guitar music going on, you know, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think, you know, music is a very integral part of a video game. And specifically the Final Fantasies, I have really not had a bad Final Fantasy soundtrack at all. I mean, it's all good music. It really is, whether it be the overworld music or the battle music or, you know, the more somber scenes where Aerith dies or whoever dies, you know. It's just, and the fact that they're releasing this on vinyl, that was very impressive to me, being that, you know, a lot of people don't even know what records are, what real records are.
Yeah.
You know? And it's really great that they're doing that for those that, you know.
I think one of the things that you know, I don't want to give hipsters credit, but one of the things that you might have to give them credit for is maybe going ahead and bringing a little bit of focus back to vintage things, and vinyl collections have actually become quite a big thing amongst records, and vinyl has become a big thing amongst collectors, especially over the last few years. Now, for this particular set of soundtracks and stuff like this, really, as far as it goes for the West, okay, we're really just kind of catching up to what Japan has been doing for fucking decades, all right? Soundtracks for video game music has been a regular thing over there for decades.
Yes.
Right? And I'm happy that it's happening that way. This is absolutely, this is nothing but cool as far as having this come out. And the thing about, like, whenever you're there for the live music concerts or stuff like that, I've attempted a video games live music concert on 2 different occasions. It's always a fucking blast going there, and
I would love to do that.
Yeah, it's great, you know. And they usually come down. Well, they come down to LA, and they're usually playing like every year in LA, actually, toward the beginning of summer. But yeah, it's great. So them doing this is awesome, especially for folks who may not have the opportunity to go out and actually hear what their favorite soundtrack sounds like with a live fucking orchestra.
Absolutely.
All right, whether or not it's vinyl or CD, this is nothing but cool.